vein. I didn't really think that folklore songs should be too highfalutin, but I guess that was his thing. So.
The watermelon is boiling. The watermelon is boiling. The watermelon is boiling on the vine. Oh me, oh my, oh baby. Watermelon is boiling on the vine. Oh me, oh my. That's why watermelon is boiling on the vine.
I wouldn't say that I appreciated it.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Coming up in the news, the Prime Minister touring key medical facilities throughout the island today. The Ministry of Youth preparing young persons for the job market through a 7-week program. And tourism stakeholders releasing a comprehensive report on their preparation for a major economic boom. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Megan Shepard. Thank you so much for tuning in. The nation's leader on Grand Bahama today for a tour of the island's public healthcare facilities. Renovations to the island's hospital have been ongoing for several months, and a planned recommissioning of the Rance Memorial Hospital that was scheduled for today was postponed until later next month. Well, today the Prime Minister was able to take a look at the progress to date. Jamila Mizik has our top story.
The nation's leader, Prime Minister, the Most Honorable Dr. Hubert Minnis, making a special visit to Grand Bahama on Friday morning, touring a number of healthcare facilities on the island. The first stop was the Ram Memorial Hospital, which was partially destroyed by Superstorm Hurricane Dorian in September 2019. Work on the island's premier healthcare facility is being carried out by Triple L Construction Company Limited. The Prime Minister and a delegation receiving the tour by Public Hospitals Authority Managing Director Catherine Weech and Grand Bahama Health Services Administrator Sharon Williams. Dr. Minnis noting the importance of the healthcare facility.
Grand Bahama, a lot of the health infrastructure systems were devastated by the hurricane, so we wanted to get them back as quickly as possible. A lot of things would have been delayed by Dorian, but in spite of that, wanted to still move along. And I wanted to inspect the progress of the Rand Memorial Hospital because we're in the process of designing the final component of the hospital. That is the 4-story complex next to the original complex, so we can have a brand new hospital with all the medical entities, so that individuals would not necessarily have to be moved back and forth to New Providence or other places.
Now, the Prime Minister was also accompanied by Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture, the Honorable Iram Lewis, and Minister of State for Grand Bahama and Finance, the Honorable Kwesi Thompson. Minister Thompson giving this update on the work completed so far at the Ram Memorial Hospital.
We are just about completed with the RAN facility. We're hoping to be able to open that this month. We're going to have a completely brand new RAN facility. You have a brand new pediatrics, pharmacy, maternity ward, medical surge ward, top to bottom. It's going to be a brand new facility. And so the Prime Minister is hoping to come back this month to be able to open that so that the public would be able to have full access to it. So we're very pleased at the status of where we are now, and we're hoping to be able to complete that.
Now the delegation also touring the Susan J. Wallace Community Center, the official vaccination site in Freeport.
We heard that there was about 2,000 persons who have already received their vaccinations in Grand Bahama. They've also gone to West End as well. They've completed doing some work in West End. They're also going to be doing some work in East End, 8 Mile Rock. So they're going to the different settlements to actually vaccinate persons, which is good as well.
Dr. Minnis says he is pleased with the vaccination program so far on the island.
I'm pleased with how I've been told that the Grand Bahamians, like the Bahamas in general, are coming out receiving the vaccine because, we're present in the pandemic, and we feel that we are presently ahead of the virus, and we must remain ahead of the virus, and we are in a position to vaccinate ourselves out of it without having to cause any devastation to our economy.
The Prime Minister also making a stop at the site for the new Western Atlantic Medical College off East Sunrise Highway, as well as the Hyra Clinic in East Grand Bahama. Shamila Mizik, ZNS Network News.
The Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture launching its 7-week job readiness program for young persons ages 17 to 25 at the St. Paul's Methodist Church today. The program offers ways in which youngsters can strengthen their employment skills. Ramiko Knowles has more.
Young, innovative, and skilled minds fill the sanctuary of St. Paul's Methodist Church for the launch of the Job Readiness Program. Youth Coordinator Carla Brown-Roker says the program exists to ensure that young persons are ready for the workplace, especially in the COVID era.
We are going to be offering tools in which they can use to safely work in the workplace, following the safety protocols, making sure that they're certified with Bahama Host, making sure that if they're going into the food business, restaurants, anything along that line, they have their food handling certification according to the new normal. We are going to work with our corporate partners to ensure that they take a second look at the intern now that they would have passed through Job Ready.
Guest speaker at the official opening, Dion McKinney, encouraged attendees to embrace the opportunities that come their way.
So I used the example of a candle, and I said that each of us have something inside of us, and it's like the candle. So I had the garbage bag with a lot of garbage inside of it. We know garbage to be garbage, but I had a candle inside of it, and so I said that is what we have inside of us. That candle is opportunity. That candle is purpose. And so I like that candle. I said that the spark, it only takes a spark to get the fire burning. Let them know that for this we know that all things work together for good to them that love the Lord, to those that are called according to His purpose.
The Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture, the Honorable Iram Lewis, officially declaring the Job Ready program open. He notes that this cohort is special as it is the first since the start of the COVID-19 pandemic. In addition, he says that over 130 applications were submitted, and as a result, they've created 2 cohorts.
The first in Freeport City and the second in the community, the largest community in the country. We all know where that is, right? 8 Mile Rock. And that is in order for us to expand our reach across the length and breadth of Grand Bahama. This program, this is very important for you to know, encompasses Bahama Host, food safety and handling, health and safety protocol training, hands-on activities, lively and interactive presentations and webinars to ensure the students walk away with a wealth of knowledge and the skills they need to succeed.
2 of the participants, Francesca Carey and Akia Raming, say they're excited about the launch of the program.
I am extremely excited for the opportunity to fulfill my dreams and passion as being a social worker. In a few months, I'll be graduating from the University of Bahamas North. And so I'm excited for this program to give me the opportunity to fulfill my dreams as helping persons with mental issues. That's my passion.
I'm very excited because of the economy and the position that it's in. It's great that the government is putting forth the effort to employ young people, because that's a big challenge that most of the youth on the island face. So it's great that they've developed this program to give us that boost that we need to get the job so we can, make life happen for ourselves.
Now that the official launch is completed, participants are better equipped for the work environment. Ramiko Knowles, ZNS Network News.
Officials from the Grand Bahama Island Tourism Board releasing a press statement on the major steps being taken in preparation for the reopening of the local economy. Officials providing a comprehensive report on the current state of the island's hotel and resort properties, as well as the Grand Bahama International Airport. Our Ramiko Knowles has the details.
During a recent tour and inspection of the temporary terminal facilities at the Grand Bahama International Airport, members of the Grand Bahama Island Tourism Board saw firsthand the additional work being carried out to address in the short term the needs of air passenger service to the island. The temporary airport facility at the Grand Bahama International Airport has doubled in size to over 8,000 square feet and is now better prepared to service both international and domestic travel markets. This significant expansion and upgrade of the facility allows for better handling of baggage and an additional 250-seat departure area and the efficient processing of visitors through immigration, customs, and baggage claim in the arrivals terminal. The Viva Wyndham Fortuna will reopen on April 25th, and the team is working hard to meet that goal amidst the changing market conditions, the latest being the new requirements for entry into the United States. Resort officials say they will be making some special opening offers and perhaps also include the rapid test in their packages to make it more attractive for visitors from the USA. The 66-room hotel and the Flamingo Bay Resort, one of the 3 Tano Beach properties, is completely opened, including its marina facilities with 25 boat slips and a good client base that comes mainly from the South Florida market. Ramiko Knowles, ZNS Network News.
Well, there are signs that the economy is gradually reopening. Local restaurants are slowly returning to a sense of normalcy, though on a smaller scale. Tonight, one of the island's premier restaurants say they're just happy to be back in business. Italia Hall reports.
The Pier 1 restaurant remains a popular dining spot that offers a wide range of cuisines, has had its share of challenges, from some of the most powerful hurricanes to ever hit this region, and now the COVID-19 pandemic. Management has now found a new way to keep business going.
Something we wanted to start, kind of to give back, because throughout the whole pandemic, we've had our Bahamian populace here have been supporting us through the pandemic and through the whole economic crash that happened, and we wanted to sort of give back.
The dedication to Grand Bahama, I come here, I was in my 20s, now I'm in the 80s, and has been a blessing. I started like they do as a waiter and growing up, so Grand Bahama has been very, very good to me.
Manager Boaz Alexandri says he feels great about this new addition to the restaurant.
It's always a pleasure for us to create for the community, for our lovely customers who always support us in a good and a bad moment.
Chef Roy Villalabo sharing more as to what persons can expect.
Every Sunday we are going to have a different kind of foods, which is a continental and Asian concept, and different kind of salads, different kinds of entries and desserts. So you're gonna expect that every Sunday.
Being a sushi chef, you have to know the refrigeration, you have to know what you give the people, and he's very committed. It doesn't happen overnight. But we have a master here, great man. He created all this, and we hope people enjoying it.
We are here at the Pier 1 restaurant for Sunday brunch, and this is something new that Pier 1 has added for the entire community of Grand Bahama. And I am here with the CEO, Mario Donato Jr., and he's going to tell us a little bit more as to what this is all about.
Okay, well, it's just something we wanted to start up for the community. We have some mostly Asian food, but also something continental, something the Bahamas hasn't really seen before.
And this is a challenging time for the entire community and the country. Talk about how you were able to pull this off during the pandemic.
Well, it's been the Bahamian people, really. You've been supporting us. You've been with us for so long during this whole thing, coming, eating, paying tribute to everybody, enjoying Roy's cooking. And it's because of you guys. If it wasn't for you, we would not be here today.
Persons can come. This is going on every Sunday, correct?
Every Sunday, yes. We're going to be moving upstairs. There's not going to be any more downstairs on Sunday. So everything's going to be upstairs, and we're going to have this going straight through.
And we have Chef Roy behind us, who's going to tell us more as to what persons can expect when coming to Pier 1 for brunch Sundays.
Hello. So we had a lot of variety. So we had this roast pork, roast beef. We have the whole pork as well. A curry from Japan, and then we had chicken from Mongolia, something like that. So there's a lot of different kind of foods.
And Roy, something that persons always come to Pier 1 for is sushi. What about sushi on Sundays?
So sushi is still available every Sunday, so they could come and then they can just ask to our waitress to order some sushi, so we can always give it to them. So it's always available.
So persons can get a wide variety of foods from different countries as well.
Yes, yes. Continental and Asian cuisine.
That's great. Well, Megan, I'm going to enjoy all of this. And for our viewers, if you want to experience more of Sunday brunch, Pier 1 is the place to be every Sunday, starting at 10 a.m. until 4 p.m. I'm Natalia Hall. Back to you in the studio, Megan.
Looks amazing. Stay with us. There's more news right after this break.
Come on down. Come on down. Now.
Hello, everyone. I'm Simeon Oughton, Senior Pastor here at New Life Worship Center, and I'm extending an invitation for you to come and worship with us Sundays at 9 to 11. Look forward to seeing you.
They say health is wealth. Well, let's find out. I'm Jamila Mizik, and I'm here to take you on a journey into what it means to have complete wellness.
Bad little lady, you should be driving me crazy. When she looking all at 10, moving them hips like come here, baby. I wanna take her down now.
The King of the North is back. Power 104.5 FM.
Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. The Department of Social Services engaged in a friendly competition among staff members today in recognition of National Social Services Month. Assistant Director for the department in the Northern Bahamas District, Charlemagne Fernandez, says that while the celebration comes a bit late, it is important for them to take part in such activities as it serves as a morale booster.
The reason behind it is to foster camaraderie, friendship, friendly competition, and it's just a means of keeping staff comfortable and happy in their work environment. Much of what we do is challenging, sometimes unpleasant, always difficult, but staff members say they are willing to pull together and do all that they need to do to try to serve the communities of the Northern Bahamas District. So every so often, if we can do something to keep them in a positive frame of mind, and we are happy to do that.
The in-house competition included social workers and supporting staff members who made up 4 teams, named after former and current department heads. Each team responsible for an exhibit in the hallway of the building. Social Worker of the Year, Garth Russell, explains the idea behind the exhibitions.
The idea of the display is to generate the interest and the team spirit and the camaraderie, and to make people have purpose. We have done so much in this community, and it is sometimes not noticeable. And so when we do this among ourselves, we feel good about ourselves. We recognize that we have to treat ourselves and spend some time to have our minds ready again for the next day. So that's what we're doing. The displays are just a testament of who we are.
Students of Tabernacle Baptist Academy are being recognized by the school for their accomplishments at the Northern Bahamas SECME Organization Competition. This year it was done virtually. But as Romiko Knowles tells us, it did not stop these Falcons from soaring.
Over the years, Tabernacle Baptist has made a name for itself in the sports arena, but Principal Ashnell Bean says the school has also excelled academically throughout the years.
Our kids always excel in their external exams, BGCSE, BJCs, but we don't usually publish those things, which I think is something that we want to change so that people can also know that we don't only focus on athletics, but we also focus on academics. This morning we are here to congratulate our students that have done well in the SECME competitions. We have first, second, third places in the bridge competition.
Senior student at the institution, Kirsten Deems, took part in the bridge building competition. She placed first overall. Junior student Jamil Stubbs placed third.
It was actually pretty nice. It was really nice. I feel as if it's a great accomplishment because last year we came second. And this year when I heard I come first, I was so excited. So I feel as if it was a really great accomplishment.
It's actually my second time. It was actually good again. But hopefully we plan to build the bridge more stronger and more durable. But it was good.
Junior student Janaya McMinnis placed first in the poster competition. Her winning poster depicted the fight against COVID-19.
The topic was Lord Heal Our Land. So I decided to put hands holding the earth. And I had the coronavirus, like the symbol surrounding the earth. It had COVID-19 inside of it, so I decided to put the symbols all around the earth. How we have to wear a mask everywhere we're going now, that's why I also decided to put a mask on the earth.
John Poitier participated in the essay competition. His composition expressed how SECME has allowed STEM to improve over the years. He shares a little of what he wrote.
Our animal is the falcon. So I said in the beginning, envision this, a falcon soaring beneath a cloud. However, the falcon was inhibited from going above the cloud because the cloud was blocking it. And I said that blockage represents the issues that outdated concepts can have for STEM. And then I said SECME, which is the wind beneath the falcon's wings, uplifts the falcon and allows it to soar over the cloud. In the same way, that metaphor corresponds to how STEM has been restricted by outdated concepts. STEM has been restricted by what we feel that it can do, what we feel holds it back. And then SECME, which is the wind beneath STEM, literally and metaphorically, allows it to be uplifted and soar to an area that we can never understand.
Physics and chemistry teacher Dwayne Edwards congratulating the students on their success. He says it was a result of teamwork.
As soon as we started and get the students working, they had to stay 6 feet apart in the classroom after school and so forth, but they still enjoyed the interaction with each other, even though one student might be at the back, one student at the front. It was really a team effort to work on these bridges and so forth, and coming up with ideas, looking at different bridges online, deciding which bridge is the strongest bridge. And then in terms of the essay, that's really the language department that helped the students to guide them in terms of how to approach the essay. So it's really a school effort to get the SECME competition going.
Romiko Knowles, ZNS Network News.
Two local organizations teaming up to give back to the nation's youth. Zeta Rho Sigma Sorority and Auxiliary of Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority, providing a young Grand Bahamian College student, Savannah Gardner, with a $500 scholarship. Chapter member of Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority, Alcina Duncombe, says education is a priority within the organizations.
We weren't able to do it earlier because of Dorian, and then, of course, the pandemic, and she was delayed in going to school, and it was something we wanted to do. She is one of our outstanding rowers who attended Bishop Michael Eldon School, and she is now studying at Acadia University in Canada, and she's doing very well. And so we just want to let her know that we haven't forgotten her, because our goal is to really reward excellence, recognize the achievement of young women, and that is one of our focus, because we are a support group to the sorority, and our emphasis really is on the youth.
Mother of the recipient, Cassandra Gardner, expressing her appreciation for the scholarship.
I want to thank you all so much. I know if Savannah was here, she would be very overwhelmed, because she loves rowers. She talks about you guys all the time. And on behalf of Savannah, I just wanted to say thank you all. Thank you all so much.
And a local music artist is releasing a new song in grand style tonight at Caribbean Barrel in Lucaya. And for her, performing and singing has always been a passion. Varsia Duncombe, also known by her stage name Varsi, has been singing most of her life, starting in her church's choir, expanding to other choirs and local bands. Varsi says she wanted to begin creating her own music and establishing her own platform. That's when she began writing and recording music.
My music is a feeling for me, so sometimes if I'm feeling a certain way, and I have availabilities for studio sessions, I'm able to, put my feeling into my music. But to narrow it down a little bit more, I do soul, pop, R&B, reggae, soca. But right now I'm focusing more on trying to do a little bit more of international sounds so that I can get myself out there.
Farsi will be releasing a new song. This one, she says, was taking her style to a different level and a different feel.
I have a song called Forever. I produced this song with Padrino in 2016, and this song is a bilingual song. So this is my first bilingual song. I shot it in Cuba, and then I finished it off in Freeport. So my sister was the co-writer for the song, along with Padrino, because she's actually fluent in Spanish. Like I said, it was an excuse to go back to Cuba and explore a little bit more, and to, bring the culture of Bahamian and the Cuban culture together into one.
The 2-hour live release will take place at a local restaurant. She is inviting the entire community to support local artists, as well as the other guests that will be assisting in making the night a success.
Accompanying me would be the Mixed Play Band. We have the Chunkanu, we have a cartoon artist, he's doing paintings, Ben the artist. We also have games, prizes, raffles. So this is a special gift to my fans. I want to thank you guys so much for supporting me over the years. Like I said, it's a gift back to you guys, and you don't want to miss this. And we're going to put on an awesome show for you guys. We're going to put on a beautiful show, so please come out and support.
And still to come, our Facebook friend of the day.
For delicious Haitian and Bahamian cuisine, your dining experience begins at Fair Play Lounge. In the Port Lucaya Marketplace, place your orders at 374-3247.
Now, welcome aboard.
Are you tired, overweight, having trouble sticking to your health and fitness goals? Well, look no further. The Fitness Connection has teamed up with Z&S to bring you Health Bites. This and every Thursday, tune in, and we'll make sure you get on track and stay on track with your health and fitness goals. Tune in.
Did quarantine, lockdowns, and curfews help you to discover your inner chef? Well, I want to hear from you. Munching with Megan is back. Let's get cooking.
All new guest chefs and all new flavors. Tune in this and every Wednesday on the Z&S TV network. Balearia Caribbean, the fastest, easiest, and most affordable way to travel the United States. Bins starting at $150 and passengers starting at $120.
Janet Thomas, you are our Facebook friend of the day. We thank you so much for your support. That's going to do it for us here in the North, but be sure to stay tuned as the Bahamas Tonight continues. On behalf of the entire news team here in the North, I'm Megan Shepard. Have a wonderful weekend.
Coming up in the Bahamas tonight, the national report. Hotel execs of a mega resort get the shot. A brazen daylight shooting ends in death for one man. And an unexpected demand leads to a shortage of a rather sweet and tangy condiment. Those stories and more when the Bahamas tonight, the national report, returns.
Hello, everyone. For the past 12 months, the entire global community, including our beloved Commonwealth of the Bahamas, has been experiencing the worst public health crisis of the past 100 years. COVID-19 is now a household word. Coping with it continues to dominate our concerns and our actions. For all of us, this has been a period of great uncertainty. With a vaccine now available to us, there is light at the end of this dreadful tunnel. I received my first dose of the vaccine several days ago. The injection was painless. There were no after effects. I am doing fine. There is no need to be fearful or reluctant. Getting vaccinated is the good and right thing to do.
This message has been brought to you by the Government of the Bahamas in conjunction with the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas. This portion of the news brought to you by BTC's Dollar Holla Deals.
Good evening, I'm Akush Lopinder. Welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. Thanks for joining us. Grand Bahamas healthcare system still reeling in the aftermath of Hurricane Dorian over a year ago. Well, today, Prime Minister, the Most Honorable Dr. Hubert Minnis, got a bird's-eye view of the progress being made to transform the Rand Memorial Hospital ahead of its planned recommissioning next month. Jamila Missick of our Northern Service reports.
The nation's leader, Prime Minister, the Most Honorable Dr. Hubert Minnis, making a special visit to Grands Bahama on Friday morning, touring a number of healthcare facilities on the island. The first stop was the Rand Memorial Hospital, which was partially destroyed by Superstorm Hurricane Dorian in September 2019. Work on the island's premier healthcare facility is being carried out by Triple L Construction Company Limited. The Prime Minister and a delegation receiving the tour by Public Hospitals Authority Managing Director Catherine Weech and Grands Bahama Health Services Administrator Sharon Williams. Dr. Minnis noting the importance of the healthcare facility.
Grand Bahamas, a lot of the health infrastructure systems were devastated by the hurricane, so we wanted to get them back as quickly as possible. A lot of things would have been delayed by Dorian, but in spite of that, wanted to still move along. And I wanted to inspect the progress of the Rand Memorial Hospital because we're in the process of designing the final component of the hospital. That is the 4-story complex next to the original complex, so we can have a brand new hospital with all the medical entities, so that individuals would not necessarily have to be moved back and forth to New Providence or other places.
Now, the Prime Minister was also accompanied by Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture, the Honorable Aram Lewis, and Minister of State for Grands Bahama and Finance, the Honorable Kwesi Thompson. Minister Thompson giving this update on the work completed so far at the Rand Memorial Hospital.
We are just about completed with the Rand facility. We're hoping to be able to open that this month. We're going to have a completely brand new Rand facility. You have a brand new pediatrics, pharmacy, maternity ward, medical surge ward, top to bottom. It's going to be a brand new facility. And so the Prime Minister is hoping to come back this month to be able to open that so that the public would be able to have full access to it. So we are very pleased at the status of where we are now, and we're hoping to be able to complete that.
Now, the delegation also toured the Susan J. Wallace Community Center, the official vaccination site in Freeport.
We heard that there was about 2,000 persons who have already received their vaccinations in Grand Bahama. They've also gone to West End as well. They've completed doing some work in West End. They're also going to be doing some work in East End, 8 Mile Rock. So they're going to the different settlements to actually vaccinate persons, which is good as well.
Dr. Minnis says he is pleased with the vaccination program so far on the island.
I'm pleased with how I've been told that the Grand Bahamians, like the Bahamas in general, are coming out receiving the vaccine because, you know, we're present in the pandemic, and we feel that we are presently ahead of the virus, and we must remain ahead of the virus, and we are in a position to vaccinate ourselves out of it without having to cause any devastation to our economy.
The Prime Minister also making a stop at the site for the new Western Atlantic Medical College off East Sunrise Highway, as well as the High Rock Clinic in East Grand Bahama. Shamila Mizik, ZNS Network News.
Well, back here in the capital, more vaccinations taking place today, this time at one of the country's newest sites, the Atlantis Paradise Island Resort, essentially bringing the option of vaccine inoculation to employees' doorstep, with vaccine considered a key step to economic recovery and the resurgence of the tourism industry. An Atlantis executive sheds light on how this impacts employees. Cleopatra Murphy has the story.
Employees of the Atlantis Paradise Island Resort will not face repercussions if they choose not to get vaccinated against COVID-19. Human Resources Executive Director Denise Barnes, who took her own shot to the arm Friday morning, confirmed as much as health officials opened the latest vaccine site on property.
It is not mandated, okay? This is not compulsory. This is purely voluntary. If you want to do it, you do it. We make it a point. I mean, even right now, if people are being asked to return to work and they say, I'm not ready yet for whatever reason, that's not held against them because their safety is paramount to us.
Barnes says the property spends thousands of dollars on weekly COVID-19 rapid antigen tests for staff, but when it comes to if employees will have to pay for tests should they opt out of vaccinations for now, she says no final decision has been made.
We have not decided on that as yet. I mean, we don't want anything to be considered punitive, all right? I don't know yet if something will change. At this time, whatever we need to do, which means us paying for the rapid antigen test, we'll continue to do.
It, however, may not be a factor, as officials, she says, have tested the waters to see how employees feel about being vaccinated. Barnes says many are willing to do what it takes to get more guests back on property.
We have asked people periodically, because you may know that we do the rapid antigen testing quite often, weekly really with our employees, and they're really tired of this level of uncertainty, and so anything that we can do for them to go back to a sense of normalcy, they seem to be prepared to do.
One of those staffers, Vice President of Supply Chain Procurement Ivan James Jr., says initially he had reservations following various reports of blood clots, but ultimately, in the interest of the country, he opted for vaccination.
I think it's going to help the economy and help the flow of people and trade, and hopefully we get back to where we were a year and a half ago.
Another employee, Atlantis' Assistant Director for Health and Safety, Christina Bain, says she wants to keep her family and community safe. The former nurse says she educated herself and read up on all the side effects before deciding to take the AstraZeneca vaccine.
I'm doing it because my husband and my mom, they're not necessarily on board, and so I want to be the lead for them so that they can, by my example, consider getting the vaccine. I think I would have preferred those single dose, but I just want to get the vaccine, so I don't have a greater concern for one over the other.
On the first day of vaccination at the Atlantis Paradise Island Resort, more than 300 people were booked to take their shot of AstraZeneca. The bridge toll for those getting vaccinated has also been waived for those being inoculated at the property. Cleopatra Murphy, ZNS Network News.
Well, National COVID-19 Vaccine Consultative Committee member and Princess Margaret Hospital Administrator Mary Walker joining the chorus of health officials encouraging Bahamians to take the AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine. Walker, who spoke with us at the newly opened vaccination site at the Atlantis Paradise Island Resort this morning, reiterates that the committee's goal is to get vaccines into the arms of as many people as possible.
I know personally we are always talking about this herd immunity. The vaccinations will ensure that even if you are exposed later on and do contract COVID, your disease will not be as severe. And so you'll be more likely to survive and not have the long-lasting effects of COVID that we're now seeing worldwide. And so it's incumbent that we ask persons, we're trying to be safe for one another and for our loved ones and the persons who we interact with every day. So vaccine is the way to go right now. We've been having a very good response thus far from all of the sites that we're doing it. And as we roll out more sites, you'll realize that we'll move from area to area.
Rare blood clots generating from the AstraZeneca vaccine, still a global concern. So much so, health officials in the United Kingdom suggest healthy persons under the age of 30 take an alternative vaccine. It's a development local health officials are monitoring. Here's what Chief Medical Officer Pearl Macmillan had to say on the issue.
Certainly, as we move down the road of immunizations with AstraZeneca, we have to continue to monitor, what the science is giving direction to. This would have come to our attention today, and certainly considerations along that line may have to occur, but this is something that I think we all know that with the AstraZeneca vaccine, we would have had a number of things come to the fore, and as additional studies and additional information came forward, we were in a better position to make country-level decisions.
Meantime, infectious disease specialist Dr. Nakia Forbes holds firm that the vaccine's benefits outweigh the risk, citing that 34 million people had been vaccinated around the world, only a small number of whom had reported experiencing blood clots.
So actually, the chance of getting the blood clot is way less than 0.1%. It's about 0.0065%. And so it's an extremely rare side effect that's possible. And scientists are not really quite clear on what exactly could be causing that at this time. So the overall position is that the benefits for this vaccine do still outweigh the risk of this vaccine. And there's some other useful information to know. As a matter of fact, 4 women out of every 10,000 women that is on the birth control pill will get a blood clot because of it. And COVID-19 itself can cause blood clots. And so we always have to weigh what is the benefit and the risk and the benefits of the vaccine.
Well, the positive COVID-19 numbers, not as bad as they were yesterday, but certainly another 25 COVID cases still cause for concern, particularly with 19 of them here in New Providence, the other 4 in Grand Bahama, 1 on Eleuthera, and the locations of 2 others pending. The latest figures also removed 1 previously recorded case from the Berry Islands. Of the new cases here in the capital, 4 of the infected have a history of travel within 14 days. The new cases bring the nationwide total to 9,364. As for Thursday's count, 36 people were hospitalized, 4 of them in the intensive care unit. The death count remains at 189, with recoveries at 8,837. Active cases stand at 282. Well, Minister of Health, the Honorable Renwood Wells, and recently appointed U.S. Charge d'Affaires Yusha Pitts yesterday met and discussed the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic and its impact on the global community. During the courtesy call, they also addressed the country's rollout of the AstraZeneca vaccine. Further, Pitts shared details of the U.S. vaccine rollout and the country's plans to assist the Bahamas and the region with vaccination efforts. Well, still to come, detectives in the capital probe the country's latest homicide, and autistic students make an impact on the public education system. Those stories and more when the National Report continues. And remember to tune in to the Morning Edition with LaDawn Davis and Charles Fisher at 7 o'clock weekday mornings. We also have news updates at every hour starting at 2 p.m. You can then watch live at 5 with Amajal Knowles, followed by the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition at 6:30, and the National Report live at 7 p.m. All right here on the ZNS Network.
This portion of the news was brought to you by Sun Oil Limited Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
What does support look like? What does it sound like when you feel the pulse of a nation? When you make a difference in the lives of strong, principled, cultured people who are driven by hard work and passion. People who build communities where hospitality is warmly demonstrated because this is the Bahamas, and we're happy to share our wealth. Commonwealth Bank, built by Bahamians, here for Bahamians. Bahamians helping Bahamians.
Your home is where your heart is, but it's more than just shelter. Your home is your workplace. Your home is school for your kids. Your home is even your happy place where you play. Get the best internet connection wherever you are with blazing fast speeds up to 300 megabits per second for as low as $99.99 and installation within 48 hours. Sign up for any of our fiber packages today and get a chance to win a smart TV plus a free tablet in your second month. Call or WhatsApp 577-SHOP or 424-SHOP and sign up today. Conditions apply.
You know that feeling you get when you have an uncontrollable desire for fried chicken? That's the KFC, a substance that stimulates your senses to identify the aroma of our secret recipe or an extra crispy crunch from any distance. It's invisible to the naked eye, but you can feel it traveling throughout your body, taking control so you can enjoy a juicy bite of KFC. Ignite your senses with KFC.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
In news from the Crime Beat, detectives are tonight busy piecing together the circumstances surrounding the country's latest murder. Antoinette Smith was at the scene.
A blood-stained pavement and shattered glass marks the scene of the country's latest tragedy, a violent Friday afternoon shooting on Kemp Road that left one man dead. Police say it was shortly after 1 when they were summoned to the scene.
The driver of a Nissan Cube was traveling north along Kemp Road when the driver of another vehicle stopped in front of his vehicle. A lone passenger exited that vehicle armed with a firearm and discharged it at the driver of the Cube. The driver of the Cube attempted to exit the vehicle. However, several other shots were fired at him and he dropped.
Initial details at the crime scene revealing the shattered windows of the victim's yellow plate vehicle. Police, however, cannot confirm the details of the make and the model driven by the suspect.
Because of the persons that were coming on the scene, that suspect made good his escape. Emergency medical services was summoned. Following the examination of the body, it was pronounced lifeless. There's no indication at this time that the matter is gang-related, but we would look. The evidence will lead us to what the motive is.
While the victim's identity has not yet been released, officials say the deceased appears to be in his early 30s. Whether the person is known to police or even from the Kemp Road area cannot yet be determined. The sheer gravity of the situation, however, has left residents reeling.
Somebody lost their life, and it's somebody's mother to find out that the son has just gotten killed. It's really sad. These boys need to stop.
Right now, we have to think about coming outside now, sitting out here, doing what we do because we don't know what could happen. So right now it's very scary.
Like others, this resident says she feels troubled by the recent outburst of violence, adding that the target in these shootings isn't always the only one caught in the crossfire.
And just to hear the sounds of what we thought to be a tire blowing or something and come to find out that it was actually gunshots. And the young man obviously lost his life, and children frequent the area and sit outside and play, and to just fathom that one of them could have been there and accidentally got shot, it's just mind-boggling. And
at this time, investigators say they are following significant leads and ask that anyone with information on this crime call the police at 502-9992. Antoinette Smith, ZNS Network News.
Well, this afternoon's homicide fresh on the heels of a shooting in Nassau Village sometime after 9 o'clock last night. What we can tell you is that a man was sitting in his car on the corner of Talbot Avenue. Moments later, he was approached by a gunman who shot him several times about the body before escaping. Authorities say the victim was able to drive himself to hospital, where at last report he was in stable condition. Head of the Bahamas Correctional Services is tonight categorically denying social media claims of inmates being treated unfairly and inhumanely. Commissioner Charles Murphy making it clear in a release that inmates are allowed 3 meals per day, exercise and showers in accordance with the Human Rights Convention, Standard Minimum Treatment of Offenders, and the Correction Service Act of 2014. Further, that the southern wing of the maximum security housing unit was recently renovated, an area designated a no smoking zone, and that all inmates placed in that area are aware. Murphy acknowledging, though, that despite this, it was recently brought to his attention that inmates are smoking in the unit, creating a problem for those who do not. Inmates, he added, were also found using the cigarettes to damage walls and cell doors in the newly renovated unit. And they've been warned many times to no avail. Consequently, the administration decided to discontinue issuing cigarettes, and that's to not only preserve the inmates' health and safety, but to protect the infrastructure within maximum security, as well as the interest of the public. In other news this Friday, propelling the room revenue and nights sold of 40 hotels scattered across 10 family islands, the primary goal of the Bahamas Out Island Promotion Board. Add to that cutting cost of doing business, but that hasn't been easy in a COVID-19 environment. Executive Director Carrie Fountain admits the challenges of operating during COVID, but also cites the exciting ways to find new solutions to attract even more visitors to the family islands. Fountain explains how bookings and interest in visiting the Bahamas has peaked since vaccinations began to pick up in the United States over the past 2 months.
They actually have people for like May, June, July on a waiting list to stay at that hotel. Can you imagine a waiting list to stay at a hotel? This is not a restaurant, this is a hotel. Not all hotels are seeing that or having that same success. Some are doing much better than others, but in general, we project, based on how things are going now, we project that our business in terms of room nights sold and room revenue will be, and it could get better, but it will be about maybe 65% of what it was in 2019.
And while international passengers to the Bahamas learn more about our tourism COVID-19 protocols before traveling here, Out Island Promotion Board also have new concepts on its marketing list.
We've been working with a developer in Nassau, working with a developer to develop, if you may, a digital immigration card. And if that was to come about, that would definitely give our hotel members a competitive advantage because they will know when that visitor is coming, maybe 60 to 90 days out, and then do the things that would better prepare to welcome that visitor. So re-identifying the target audience, that's number one.
Now to some consumer news you may want to hear. Head of the Price Control Commission's telling our news team they're receiving many complaints from residents about the high cost of grocery items in local food stores. Carla Palmer reports.
Some items I think is reasonable, but some I think they kind of went up a bit, especially during this pandemic. I think they really went up a bit, hike up prices.
Shirley is but one resident complaining of the high cost of grocery items in the food stores.
It's rough. Trust me, it's rough. It's just, you're just trying the best you could, especially with children. It's really extremely tough. Yeah, and then a lot of people out of work.
Chairman of the Price Control Commission, Danny Sumner, reiterating that as it now stands, the Commission has no authority to implement a limit on non-controlled items. While it may be unethical, he says, it's not illegal of the Retailers Association of the Bahamas in pricing their items.
Unfortunately, that's what it is. We can do nothing with them. You go to food store someday and you see a price today and you go the next day, the price went up.
Nevertheless, this is what Sumner says the Commission is working in earnest to change, having already forwarded proposed legislation to put a price ceiling cap on non-controlled items.
Customs duty basically is like 40% across the board. That's basically now, across the board. In addition to the customs duty, VAT. So you're looking at 50% across the board for most of these items. So when you talk to these people in the food stores, in which I do a lot of time, they'll say, Mr. Sumner, this is what I paid for customs. They'll show you the invoice, whether it's coming from Canada, the U.S., or wherever. And they say, look, we got to make a profit. We're not making a profit from the breadbasket items, so we got to make a profit of the things that are not breadbasket.
But how much of a profit?
That's a good question. Their profit, like I said, could be anywhere from 80%. Sometimes it could be 50, maybe 100%. Okay? And as long as we don't have the power to stop it, they can continue doing it. Some of the things that they're overpricing, sometimes they're making like 50% profit. But there's no law. Let me let the Bahamian public be aware of that. There's no law that we can prevent these high pricing as it is right now until the law is changed to deal with these people.
Until legislation is enacted to effect the change needed, Sumner suggests shopping around for the best product and prices. Carla Palmer, ZNS Network News.
Well, speaking of food, apparently Americans are concerned about a shortage of those small Heinz ketchup packets used for takeout. Catherine Gomez takes a closer look for you, ketchup lovers, here at home.
What would the world be without ketchup? The U.S. has experienced shortages of toilet roll, pepperoni, and aluminum cans because of the COVID-19 pandemic. And now we can add ketchup to the list. Ketchup is a condiment used on so many foods. In the Bahamas, we use it on conch snacks, wings, and some even like it on grits. In the U.S., over 300 million people use ketchup, and the love of this famous flavorful sauce has led to a nationwide ketchup shortage in the U.S. According to CNN, this shortage is occurring because a lot of dine-in restaurants were forced to provide takeout services instead of indoor dining, and this meant they had to add condiments, which upped their orders for ketchup packets. This caused the demand for ketchup to go up, while the supply went down. Heinz, the biggest ketchup producer in North America, announced that they are working to increase supplies, such as adding manufacturing. So ketchup lovers, don't get alarmed, because the ketchup supply should be back in no time. Catherine Gomez, ZNS Network News.
Planning the common denominator for many medical students advancing through university, preparing for a residency and their eventual license as professional doctors. It's for this reason that the University of the West Indies School of Clinical Medicine and Research today hosted a virtual symposium. Dr. Kevin Carroll of Grady Memorial Hospital in Atlanta stresses the need to make their resume stand out among the rest.
Yeah, so if you're a graduate, you can start this process early. This tends to take a while. So applying usually happens over a certain time period. Usually applications start from June until September. So in June, you have to purchase something called an ERAS token. ERAS is essentially an electronic residency application service. It's a company under the AAMC, or the American Medical Association, that pretty much organize all of your CV, all of your application details, your USMLE transcript, your medical school transcript, your MSP, your personal statement. Everything can be uploaded to that resource.
Dr. Carroll further advises that networking and understanding the U.S. visa application process are key.
So usually there's two visas if you require a visa to train in the United States. It's a J1 or H1B. I'm currently on a J1, so I know more about that type of visa. I have some colleagues on an H1B, and an H1B is essentially a visa that the program would sponsor directly, versus a J1 is what the ECFMG would facilitate in the sponsoring process with the institution that you've matched at. So for the J1 visa, it's under the Exchange Visitor Sponsorship Program. This is a program that pretty much would respect and influence cultural diversity. So that's how they justify allowing foreign grads to train in the United States.
LJM Maritime Academy is planning its upcoming industry annual conference under the theme Ride the Wave, Strategize the Way Forward. According to conference chair and LJM acting academic dean Eskasha Smith, the free two-day event highlights a cross-section of issues in the global and regional maritime industry.
The conference will be held virtually on June 24th and the 25th in observance of Day of the Seafarer. Ideally, we would have liked to have this conference in person to allow for interpersonal interactions and networking. However, given the health concerns and risk at this time, we are holding the conference virtually, knowing that it will still provide many benefits as an in-person conference, while at the same time reaching participants who may have not been able to attend in person.
Education Minister, the Honorable Jeffrey Lloyd, congratulating officials of Reach Bahamas, parents and stakeholders of the autism community for a job well done in ensuring students on the autism spectrum get the education they need. During the Light It Up Blue event this week, he declared that success doesn't discriminate and it is a child's right to receive a phenomenal academic experience.
The Auburn Times Primary Autism Unit last year, with an enrollment of 48 students, had 11 students transition out of that unit, with 3 students mainstreamed later, graduating from 6th grade. Prior to the COVID-19 lockdowns, students from the unit were active participants in special assemblies, and 4 students were named as prefects. Each one of those accomplishments are worthy of praise.
Minister Lloyd also referenced scholarship opportunities made available for teachers wanting to pursue a special education career.
I am not satisfied yet with the response that I've appeared. And as the demand remains great for persons skilled in these specialized areas, I renew the call for individuals interested in developing and positively transforming the lives of our students with different abilities to pursue graduate specializations accordingly. The Bahamas needs you.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
Tourism today. Bahamas tourism today.
Since its opening in 1962, the Ocean Club has been a luxurious experience for locals and discerning travelers alike. Here at Tourism Today, we're excited to remind you that this beautiful property on Paradise Island is a safe place to stay and dine during this time.
Every week, we do a weekly testing. We have the testing facilities on property, and Doctors Hospital are great partners with us, and they come in and we do testing once a week for all of our employees. We also have hand sanitizers across the property, plus all of our employees wear masks. Also, for our guests, we partner with the Johns Hopkins Medical Facility. They work with Four Seasons on the safety protocols that we have in place for all of our hotels. All of our restaurants have spacing between the tables, 6 feet, and over on our pool deck, all of the chairs are spaced out 6 feet. I would love guests to feel very, very safe when they come and visit our property. All of our staff are well versed in the safety protocols, right? We take the safety of our staff and our guests seriously. And as I mentioned earlier, social distancing was a thing here before social distancing became a thing, right? The property is spread out over 35 acres, so you're never going to be on top of anybody. And you can have the privacy, any privacy that you'd like, or if you want to engage, our staff knows exactly how to stand back 6 feet, right? When to wear a mask, how to sanitize, and our guests, we want them to feel safe. This week, we'll be opening our Dune Bar. We also have the Martini Bar that's open. We have the Ocean Pool that's open. We have our Kids Ball Seasons facility that's open. We also have our Versailles pool that's open. And our kids pool, our tennis, our fitness, you name it, it's open and it's here at the Ocean Club.
However you spend your time at the Ocean Club, we know it will be an amazing experience. For more information, please visit fourseason.com/Ocean Club. I'm Alexis Clark, and this is Tourism Today.
With 99% of medical claims paid in under 5 days, we're like that spider that doesn't climb in your shower. CG Atlantic. Insurance, health, pensions, life. Good like that.
Put some spring back in your step with the specials at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets. Mullis Ready Cut Macaroni, 16-ounce box, $1.99. Rainbow Evaporated Milk, large can, 98 cents. Bluebird Juices, 46-ounce size, $2.99. Danish Spare Ribs, $2.59 per pound. Idaho Potatoes, 5-pound bag, $2.99. Open Monday through Saturday, 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. Double stamps on Sundays at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets.
The Bahamas Bureau of Standards and Quality, or BBSQ, ensures better business practices in the Bahamas through the development and promotion of voluntary and mandatory national standards. Standards are guidelines which ensure that goods and services are produced with the safety of consumers and the environment in mind. BBSQ has developed standards for the manufacturing of bottled water. All vehicles brought into the country are also subject to standards. We have protocols for the poultry and egg production industry. National standards also apply to the construction industry. We are setting quality management and quality assurance guidelines to ensure that medical laboratories are competent. Standards help businesses to reduce expenditure, improve customer satisfaction, access new markets, reduce environmental impact, increase market share, and innovate. For consumers, standards provide improved choice, lower costs, greater assurance, compatibility, consistency, and better product information. We believe that standards matter to everyone, everywhere. We are the Bahamas Bureau of Standards and Quality, where quality is our standard.
BBSQ, coming for through. You, for me.
Join up for life insurance. Secure the ones that you love. Join up with Family Guardian. We offer full protection. Join the family. Join the family. Family Guardian. Protect the ones you love. A friend that you can trust. Family Guardian.
When you wanna save money on your tile supplies, who you gonna call? The Tile King. When you tile your house and you wanna look good, who you gonna call? The Tile King.
Visit the new Tile King showroom, which is internationally recognized as the finest tile showroom in the Caribbean, located in the Builders Mall on Wolf Road.
The Tile King. Who you gonna call? The Tile King.
Tiles on everything.
This portion of the news is brought to you by the Pest Destructo Company. We are your best solution.
Britain's Prince Philip, the Duke of Edinburgh and husband of Queen Elizabeth II, died early this morning. He was 99. Buckingham Palace confirming the death in a statement, noting that His Royal Highness passed away peacefully this morning at Windsor Castle. The statement adds that further announcements will come later, and the royal family joins people across the world as they mourn his passing. The Duke's death follows a month-long hospital stint in London, during which time he was treated for an infection at the King Edward VIII Hospital before being transferred to St. Bartholomew's Hospital, where he underwent heart surgery. He was released from hospital in mid-March. The Duke of Edinburgh married then Princess Elizabeth in 1947. They are parents to Prince Charles, Princess Anne, Prince Andrew, and Prince Edward. Well, according to Bahamianology.com, Prince Philip visited Nassau in April 1959. When he arrived, he was met by huge crowds, the performing police band, and a presentation by the Guard of Honor. He also attended a number of public and private engagements, dinners, and socials at Government House. A special speech dais was constructed in the public square for His Royal Highness to deliver his address. Then Governor General of the Bahamas, Sir Raynor Arthur, and his wife accompanied Prince Philip during his visit to the Bahamas exactly 62 years ago. The Bahamian flag at Government House flying at half-mast in honor of the late Prince Philip. The flag will remain that way until His Royal Highness has been officially laid to rest. Well, the Queen's representative here in the Bahamas, Governor General, His Excellency, the Most Honorable Cornelius Smith, releasing a statement today on the passing of His Royal Highness Prince Philip.
It is with deep sadness that I inform you of the passing of His Royal Highness Prince Philip, the Duke of Edinburgh, husband of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, on April 9th. I have conveyed the condolences of the government and people of the Bahamas to Buckingham Palace. Our thoughts and prayers are with Her Majesty and the royal family at this time. May Almighty God continue to strengthen them in their bereavement.
Well, across the Bahamas, the 729 participants, 124 volunteers, 42 units, the National Office, Council, and the Board of Trustees of the Governor's General Youth Award are too mourning the loss of a champion of young people, a man instrumental in the growth of the GGYA. It was 65 years ago that His Royal Highness Prince Philip established the Duke of Edinburgh's award in the United Kingdom. Since then, it's been rolled out in more than 130 countries and territories, empowering millions of young people to build the skills, confidence, and resilience needed to support their communities and to be ready for the world. GGYA's National Director, Jaquetta Lightbourne Maycock, as having lauded the Prince Philip as having lit a fire in the program's leadership to attract more and more young people to find their purpose, their passion, and their place in the world, a quality, she said, everyone should seek to emulate. John May, Secretary General of the Duke of Edinburgh's International Award Foundation, meantime hailed Prince Philip as a thinker of truly global stature. His Royal Highness' passion for and commitment to and the work of the award and development of young people, he added, continued until the last.
Shell Unleaded improves your fuel economy, giving increased miles per gallon, allowing you to do more of what you really want. Special additives used in Shell Unleaded improve your engine's efficiency. So go further with Shell Unleaded. Venture out to beaches, Junkanoo, and festivals and bring home memories that will last a lifetime. Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
With 99% of medical claims paid in under 5 days, we're like that spider that doesn't climb in your shower. CG Atlantic. Insurance, health, pensions, life. Good like that.
Hey guys, it's Shay again with another quick tidbit on the perks of being an Alive customer. Now, if you're already on our network, this may just be a refresher for you, but if you're not, this might give you that extra push. If you're interested in getting a bill every month, or you're interested in the best prices on some of the latest devices, or if you've been a little bit interested in that auto pay option, this might be for you. It's time for you to join postpaid and experience opulence.
Simply put, being an Alive postpaid customer means you selected the plan of your choice and you then pay for that plan routinely every month. Unlike prepaid, where you can fluctuate between 7-day and 30-day, all postpaid plans are 30-day plans. So what are some of those postpaid plans? We have our Liberty More, which is $59.99, gives you 10 gigabytes of data, 500 talk and text minutes. Or we have our Liberty Premium, which is $99.99 per month and gives you 20 gigabytes of data, 1,000 talk and text minutes. Or we have our Liberty Elite, which is $149.99 a month, includes unlimited data, talk and text, and 1 gigabyte of roaming data. Again, all of our plans include unlimited Alive-to-Alive calls and text. Now listen, we also have postpaid MiFi plans. That's right. If you have a MiFi device, you can purchase postpaid data plans, MiFi Basic, MiFi Plus, and MiFi Preferred. So what else can you look forward to? Even though we are still practicing social distancing during this time, as a postpaid customer, you not only have access to exclusive offers and devices, but exclusive invites to virtual events hosted by Alive in partnership with local vendors and access to special offers at many vendors on our List Rewards app.
So there you have it. If you're a prepaid customer and you've been thinking about making that postpaid switch, we hope that this helped. If you're not an Alive customer, what are you waiting on? Alive, believe, invest.
Certainly no shortage of Caribbean islands, each boasting a different experience from the other. But there are some that are inarguably less expensive than others. Based on MarketWatch.com's findings, there are 5 most affordable Caribbean islands to retire to and 2 to avoid. And if you're thinking the Bahamas has made the cut, you're right, but for the wrong reasons. According to MarketWatch, while the beauty and tropical appeal of St. Thomas and Grand Bahama are impossible to deny, the 2 destinations are taxing for anyone on a budget. For Grand Bahama, the sentiment is that property usually isn't cheap, as medium-sized residences in exclusive gated communities with ocean views often cost more than $2 million. Further, that while Grand Bahama is the closest major Bahamian island to the U.S., it was one of the least developed until only a few decades ago. The La Soufriere volcano on the eastern Caribbean island of St. Vincent erupted early today, sending nearly a 6-mile high plume of ash into the air hours after residents were ordered to evacuate the area. Photos and videos captured clouds of smoke coming out of the volcano about 8:40 a.m. as a thin layer of gray ash appeared to cover the surrounding area. Emergency management officials say the ash column was about 32,000 feet high and that the ash was headed east into the Atlantic Ocean. However, heavy ashfall also was reported in communities around the volcano. There was no immediate reports of casualties or injuries. The volcano last erupted in 1979, and a previous eruption in 1902 killed some 1,600 people. Acting Executive Director of the Caribbean Disaster Emergency Management Agency, or CDEMA, Elizabeth Riley, held a regional press conference today to provide more details on the evacuation exercise.
We are advised that most persons have been evacuated from the red zone, which is also known as the very high-risk zone to the impacts of volcanic eruption. And we are also advised that visibility did hinder some of the evacuation efforts today. At this time, there are 62 shelters occupied by 2,318 evacuees. There are also a number of other shelters, approximately 8, which have been activated but are at this time unoccupied.
It's time now for a check on Family Island weather with Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, Commissioner.
And before we take a look at how the weather is shaping up over the weekend, let's get your take on St. Vincent's volcano. On this side of the Caribbean, our biggest worry is that of hurricanes, but all areas of Earth have volcanic activity. After all, just last year, we experienced tremors from an earthquake.
Absolutely not. All areas do not have active volcanoes. The Bahamas, we don't. But there are some 16 active volcanoes in the eastern Caribbean, which include St. Vincent and the Grenadine, that one that erupted today. And as you would know from the reports we just seen, that has been dormant now for the last 4 decades or so. But at any given time, these can erupt. And then there are islands within the eastern Caribbean that do not have active volcanoes, such as Barbados and Trinidad, but they can be affected by these volcanoes because of their closer proximity. But for us, we need not be too concerned about the volcanoes. Tropical cyclone will be our main feature. As a matter of fact, the predictions are out from Colorado State. We're looking at a very active season again this year. Some 17 named storms. 8 of those could become hurricanes, and out of 8, we're looking at but 4 major hurricanes. So we have our work cut out for us ahead. during the next 24 hours. Outside of our studios, though, we're under partly sunny skies with a temperature of 75 degrees, relative humidity 66%. The winds are south-southeast at 10 miles per hour. The barometric pressure 1,017.4 millibars. That's 30.04 inches, and the pressure is steady. Temperatures around the islands this evening, well, they are brought to you by Family Guardian Insurance Company. We're protecting you. 75s in Freeport, Grand Bahama, Greenville, Key, and Marsh Harbor. In Abaco, the Berry Islands at 77. 76 in Alistan, Bimini, 76 also in Harbor Island. Rock Sound, Eleuthera, 77. 77 in Otterstown, Cat Island. Staniel Key in the Exuma Chain, Kemp Space, South Andros, and Fresh Creek in Central Andros, all at 76 degrees. 77s in San Salvador, Rum Key, and Georgetown, Exuma. More 77s in Ragged Island, Clarence Town, Long Island, Crooked Island, Betsy Bay, Magona, Acklands, and the Turks and Caicos Islands. The warm spot tonight is Matchitown, Inagua at 79 degrees. And your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Builders Mall, home of FYP, the Tile King, and the Pink Center. In the Northwestern Islands, the winds up out of the southeast at 10 to 15 knots, pardon me. Wave heights 2 to 4 feet. High tide would take place at 7:23 this evening. In the central and southeastern islands, caution flags are up. Southeasterly winds 12 to 18 knots, and the wave heights 3 to 6 feet over the ocean. Tomorrow, which is Saturday, we will see a further increase in the winds, picking up to 12 to 18 knots. The vector remains the same at southeast. Wave heights building 3 to 6 feet. High tide 7:40 in the morning, low tide at 1:56 in the afternoon. In the central and southeastern islands on Saturday, increasing winds again, southeasterly flow at 15 to 20 knots. Very rough seas at 4 to 7 feet over the ocean, so that caution flag will extend right into the central and southeastern islands tomorrow. Now, on Sunday, the winds will become more south to southwest ahead of an approaching cold front. The speeds around 12 to 18 knots. Wave heights 3 to 6 feet over the ocean. Caution flags remain in place. High tide on Sunday will be at 8:18 in the morning with the low tide at 2:30 in the afternoon. For the central and southeastern islands on Sunday, the winds rotating southeast to south at 12 to 18 knots. Wave heights 3 to 6 feet, maintaining the caution flags. And that's going to do it for your boating forecast. It's time now for your international temperatures, and they are brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. And that's going to do it for your international temperatures, brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But stay tuned, your extended weather forecast is still ahead.
Your home is where your heart is, but it's more than just shelter. Your home is your workplace. Your home is school for your kids. Your home is even your happy place where you play. Get the best internet connection wherever you are, with blazing fast speeds up to 300 megabits per second for as low as $99.99. And installation within 48 hours. Sign up for any of our fiber packages today and get a chance to win a smart TV plus a free tablet in your second month. Call or WhatsApp 577-SHOP or 424-SHOP and sign up today. Conditions apply.
Samantha's always on point. She doesn't miss a thing. When she signs up for any insurance policy, she reads all the fine print. She knows what's covered, what's not covered, and she's aware of her deductibles. When it comes to insurance, it pays to know your policy. Review every insurance policy so you know what you're covered for. This message was brought to you by the Insurance Commission of the Bahamas.
Discover the possibilities.
Discover the possibilities.
Discover the possibilities.
I discovered the possibilities.
I discovered the possibilities.
At BPL, we are building for better.
And that starts with improving customer relations for every single customer. Whether it's your home or business, big or small, we want you to know that you are important to us and that providing you with efficient and reliable energy is our business. Through increased efficiency and our hedging strategy, we've been able to decrease your bills significantly, a much welcome relief in these trying times.
I pay close attention to my BPL bill, and I've noticed a continual decline since July of last year. I'm so happy I can open my bill and know that it's steadily becoming more manageable.
As an entrepreneur, I've seen my electricity bills for home and business go down. This is amazing because now more than ever, it gives businesses and everyone the break they need to not only survive, but to succeed.
At BPL, we're proud of the early success of our strategic plan, and we look forward to consolidating the gains we've made. With more improvements on the way, we are continuing to build for a better future for all of us.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.
It was a big showdown in the NBA as Behemoth DeAndre Ayton and the Phoenix Suns battled the league-leading Utah Jazz in a matchup of the league's two best teams record-wise. The Suns won in an overtime thriller 117-113 at the Phoenix Suns Arena in Phoenix, Arizona. The Behemoth finished with a double-double, notching 18 points and grabbing 12 rebounds in 41 minutes of play. He's one of three Suns players who logged over 40 minutes. With this win, the Suns now pulled to within 1.5 games of the first-place Jazz in the Western Conference. They are now 3 games ahead of the LA Clippers. And Behemoth Denisha Cartwright heating up the track, running at the best time of the nation in Division II in the women's 100 meters, clocking a time of 13.88 seconds. This came at the Maverick Spring Invite in Mankato, Minnesota over the weekend. This home meet was the first outdoor meet of the season for the Minnesota State University Mavericks. Cartwright is no stranger to securing the top time in the hurdles event. She had the fastest time in D2 of 8.41 seconds in the 60-meter hurdles this past indoor season and was named the United States Track and Field Cross-Country Coaches Division II Women's Track Athlete of the Year for the Central Region. As for her outdoor opener, that time over the weekend was also a personal best. She will look to lower that time and get an NCAA Division II automatic qualifying time of 13.47 seconds or lower as the season progresses.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Did you know that there are over 30,000 Bahamians with diabetes and another 23,000 with prediabetes? Each year, this number is expected to increase. Many people who have diabetes are unaware. If you are having blurry vision, feeling thirsty, urinating frequently, or are unusually tired or losing weight despite a healthy diet, you may have diabetes. If you have a parent or sibling that has diabetes, you are also at an increased risk of developing diabetes. If you have noticed any of these symptoms, it is important to see your doctor, who will perform the necessary tests to confirm the diagnosis. Together, we can beat diabetes.
One of the things that the church must be aware of, that this is no time and season for us to get so deep and holy that we can't hail folk who hurting next to us. We can't hail the people in our neighborhood. We can't see how hungry they are. We can't get too deep, brothers and sisters, and so anointed that we forget that if someone hurt you, you gotta forgive them.
Sundays at 8:30 a.m. on ZNS TV 13.
Let's stay COVID-free. Remember the 3 S's: sanitize, social distance, and stay inside.
Time now for weather.
In our final look at whether an area of high pressure across the Bahamas is beginning to build a little in the wake of a frontal system that's heading our way. The frontal boundary cell should get into the area sometime on Monday, pushing through the capital late Monday afternoon, and that could bring with it some rain showers, possibly even some isolated thunderstorms. Meanwhile, we have some tropical moisture streaming from the southwest across the central parts of the country, and that's providing the little cloudiness you see there, and there could be one or two sprinkles developing in there as well during the course of tonight. Our forecast for tonight calls for partly cloudy, still on the cool side with your low temperature getting down to about 62 degrees. Last night we were just around 60 degrees for your low. And tomorrow, another beautiful day, mostly sunny, a bit on the breezy side, so you'll see an increase in the winds, a bit humid as well because the wind's going to start rotating more out of the south and then eventually out of the southwest by Sunday. 82 degrees for your high temperature tomorrow. The extended weather forecast, which will take us through the weekend. We're looking at low 80s during the daytime, nighttime temperatures gradually climbing back up into the 70s on Sunday. That's just ahead of the front. The front comes in on Monday, brings with it some clouds, some showers, and after that, a slight cool down. So we'll see temperatures once again drop back into the 60s as of Monday, and that should hold right into the middle part of next week.
Well, thanks, Basil. Well, Fun Fact Fridays, is back, and we get you going with this. Jim Becker of Wisconsin, after spending years selling his blood to pay for Green Bay Packers tickets, discovered he had hemochromatosis, a fatal disease treated by donating blood. The original cheese puff snack was created from animal feed. If you weigh 100 pounds on Earth, you would weigh only 38 pounds on Mars. And in 2007, Chicago's Corey Taylor faked his own death to try to get out of his cell phone contract. Well, that does it for the Bahamas tonight. We thank you for continuing to make ZNS your #1 news and information network. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. On behalf of the entire team here, thanks for watching and good night.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.